Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at this new hero that's coming out. He looks pretty cool so far. It looks like he has these awesome robots. Hopefully they do something pretty powerful. It looks like he's fire and he does piercing damage with the lance, so that looks pretty sweet. And it looks like he is a 5-star type hero, which is, good news because it looks like that's 2 5-star heroes on this release, which is really nice. And he focuses on buffing, actually reducing enemies' intelligence and speed when you do switch him into your party. So that'll be a little bit helpful. It could turn the tide of battle, so I would definitely max that out. So another nice thing about this hero is that it looks like he has a nice balance between, regular piercing attacks and fire attacks. So if an enemy is immune to fire, you can easily switch to piercing attacks. And then he also, when he does damage to the enemy, he also reduces the enemy's intelligence by 15% on this on Seeker Lance, which is really nice. And then the next attack, he does a regular attack, piercing attack, and it reduces the enemy's speed by 15% for 3 turns. It looks like. So he's a nice damage and debuffer on single targets. And then he also has this nice fire ability for all enemies. So he is going to be a great sweeper, it looks like, because it costs about a medium amount of mana. 27 MP isn't too bad. And then for sweeping, that he should do quite a bit of damage on enemies that are weak against fire. And then just enemies that have no resistance. Just regular resistance against it as well. But enemies that are do have resistance, actually do not use it on those enemies because it won't do much damage. I'm talking about enemies that don't have. I'm just talking about enemies that you do normal damage on. And this next ability is really good as well because, the only thing about it is that it's a piercing attack, but it does reduce the enemy's fire resistance by 25% for 2 turns, which is, pretty good. And it looks like it hits the enemy 3 times, That's what it looks like anyways, because it says times 3, a large amount of damage. So it looks like it's going to do quite a bit of damage against the target. And then reduce their fire resistance as well, which is pretty good. I think you can stack it with that. I think you can stack it with Shion's fire resistance reduction as well, and you can do massive damage against the target. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I think that's what you can do. You can have this hero and Shion combined together to reduce enemies' fire resistance. So it should do massive damage, especially against bosses. And then just this, he also has a regular piercing attack that reduces the intelligence of enemies. So if you're getting hit by strong magical spells, this is really nice to reduce the intelligence of the enemy by 20%. And then if you just want to buff this hero by himself, then you could definitely use this spell, Blaze Impact, to buff his power. And then it does fire damage as well. So you can switch between that and the piercing minus the fire resistance, and it should be a really good combination. You might run. You should. The only thing is you're gonna run out of mana really fast. So that's up to you. How fast you want to run out of mana. Me on the other hand, I like to save my mana throughout the battle. Just use it gradually at a time. But if you just want to burn everything, definitely switch between, that attack and the minus fire resistance attack. And then the last thing is, it just looks like this is a stronger version of that, minus intelligence of the enemy. So it's a single enemy, reduces the intelligence by 25%. So once again, if you are being hit by a bunch of damage by the boss, then definitely use this ability, Vigilant Lance, when you do get it. And if you all have any other questions below, just feel free to leave a comment, and I will help you all as soon as possible. I will talk to you all later.